Welcome to The Joyful Alchemist, the podcast where transformation meets inspiration. My name is Lynn Falconer, your guide on this journey of turning life's ordinary moments into extraordinary magic. Here we dive into personal growth, spiritual insights, and practical tools to help you unlock joy, purpose, and abundance. Whether you're seeking clarity, courage, or connection, this is your space to explore, evolve, and embrace the alchemy of joyful living. Let's ignite transformation, one powerful conversation at a time. February 5. A call to remember. Moses stood before the people, his voice strong and filled with conviction. The air was dry, but the weight of divine command carried through. "The Lord has spoken," he declared. "Every firstborn, both of man and beast, belongs to him. Set them apart as holy." The people listened, their expressions a mix of awe and reverence. It was a moment to mark in history, the day they left behind their chains, their past as slaves in Egypt. "Remember this day," Moses continued, his gaze sweeping across the assembled crowd. "By his mighty hand, the Lord has brought you out of Egypt. From this day forward, no leavened bread shall be eaten." The month of Abib had come, and with it a promise, the land of Canaan flowing with milk and honey. Moses gave instructions that would be carried through generations. "For 7 days, eat unleavened bread. On the 7th, hold a feast in the Lord's honor. No leaven shall be found among you." Fathers would tell their sons, generation after generation, "We do this because the Lord delivered us." The memory of their redemption was to be bound upon their hands, held before their eyes, a sign of God's law and his power. As they moved toward Canaan, another law was set. Every firstborn, male of both man and beast, belonged to God. But animals such as donkeys were to be redeemed with a lamb, or else they would be sacrificed. And so it was that the Israelites left their bondage behind, carrying the bones of Joseph as he had once swore them to do. At the edge of the wilderness, a pillar appeared before them. By day a column of cloud, and by night a blazing fire. The presence of the Almighty went before them, guiding their path, unwavering and constant. The pursuit and the miracle. Moses heard the command from the Lord and relayed it to the people. "Turn back and camp before the sea, near Pi Hahiroth, between Migdol and Baal Zephon." It was a trap, but not for Israel. In Egypt, Pharaoh sat brooding on his throne. The loss of his slaves gnawed at him. "What have we done?" he demanded of his counselors. "Why did we let them go?" Rage flared in his heart, and with a war cry he summoned his forces. 600 of his finest chariots, along with his entire army, surged forward in pursuit of Israel. As the sun dipped low, dust clouds rose on the horizon. The Israelites turned and their hearts trembled. Pharaoh's army was closing in. Fear clutched at them, and they cried out to Moses. "Were there not enough graves in Egypt that you brought us here to die?" they lamented. "We told you to leave us alone. We were better off as slaves than corpses in the wilderness." Moses raised his hands for silence. His voice was steady. "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and watch as the Lord fights for you today. The Egyptians you see now, you will never see again." Then the Lord spoke. "Why do you cry to me? Tell the people to move forward. Lift your staff, stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it." The pillar of cloud shifted, standing between Israel and Egypt. On one side, darkness cloaked the enemy. On the other, fire lit the way for God's people. Moses raised his staff, and the sea roared in response. A powerful east wind tore through the waters, parting them like walls of sapphire and emerald. The ground beneath turned dry, a path stretching into the depths. With wonder and fear, the Israelites stepped forward, walking between walls of water. Behind them, Pharaoh's army hesitated only for a moment before charging in. But as the first light of dawn broke, God looked down from the pillar of fire and cloud, and chaos erupted. Chariot wheels locked and twisted, their drivers thrown into confusion. "The Lord is fighting for them," the Egyptians cried in terror. "Let us flee!" But it was too late. Moses stretched out his hand again, and the sea obeyed. water crashed down in an unstoppable wave, swallowing chariots, horses, and men. The mighty Egyptian army, the oppressors of Israel, was no more. On the shore, the people of Israel stood in stunned silence. The bodies of their enemies lay motionless, washed upon the sand. A realization dawned upon them. The Lord had delivered them. The Song of Deliverance. A song arose from the lips of Moses, carried by thousands of voices. I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and my salvation. My God, I will praise him. The Israelites sang of his power, his justice, his might. Pharaoh's chariots and his army cast into the sea. The waters covered them. They sank like stones. Miriam, the prophetess and sister of Moses, stepped forward, a timbrel in her hand. Women gathered around her, their feet moving in rhythm, their voices lifting in song. Sing to the Lord, he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and its rider he has thrown into the sea. With joy still in their hearts, the people journeyed onward, deeper into the wilderness. For 3 days they walked, but their water supply dwindled. Thirst took hold of them, and their spirits sank when they reached the waters of Marah, only to find them bitter and undrinkable. What will we drink? The people grumbled. Moses turned to the Lord, and the answer came swiftly. A tree lay before him, its purpose unseen. At God's command he cast it unto the water. At once the bitterness vanished, and the waters became sweet. And there in the wilderness the Lord spoke to them. If you listen to my voice, if you follow my ways, I will protect you. None of the plagues that fell upon Egypt will come upon you, for I am the Lord who heals you. Their journey led them to Elim, a place of rest, where 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees stood waiting. There they encamped, refreshed and renewed. The road ahead was long, but they were not alone. The Lord, their deliverer, was with them. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Joyful Alchemist, where transformation and joy collide. If today's episode inspired you, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of magic. Keep shining, keep growing, and remember, you have the power to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Until next time, stay joyful and keep alchemizing your dreams into reality.